Guys, right, today's blog is the transport blog. Now, firstly, we're on Victory Beach. On the back of me you can see the island, and this is actually quite a nice beach. There's two beaches I would say are the best beaches in Sihanoukville, which is Otras and Victory Beach. But Victory Beach is closer to me, so I tend to spend a little bit more time here. Now, talking about transport. Right, well, we'll first talk about the transport from the airport to Sihanoukville, or and around Cambodia. Now, there are several. Once you come by plane, you can get a taxi. The cheapest you'll get is $45. But most people end up paying $50, $55. But they are available at $45. And you can get a minibus. Minibus is $12 a seat, but you have to arrange that to make sure your minibus is waiting for you. And then you can also get a bus. Now there's several different prices for the bus. If you get it from a hotel, they will charge you commission. So the actual bus trip is $6.50. which does take you 230 kilometres away from Nomad down to Sihanoukville. So it's not a bad price, but if you get it from a hotel, they will charge you commission. So normally from a hotel it's $10, depending on how much they want to charge you on top. But the original ticket is $6, $6.50. They're the three ways. Well, there's one other way. You can get a plane from Siem Reap. And I'm told that's $120. Not my cup of tea. I would rather sit on a bus. Bus takes about 4.5 hours. Taxi's a little bit quicker. Minibus is a little bit quicker than that. So we're not far away. It's 4.5 miles, 4.5 miles, 230 kilometres away from Phnom Penh. Now, when you get to Sihanoukville, there are several ways you can get around Sihanoukville. You can rent a motorcycle, well, moped, I should say. I rent a moped, and it works out, the cheapest I've found is $70 a month, and, well, anything upwards, but 80 is the average. So $80 is if you get an $80, you've got a good deal. These mopeds are all 125s, Honda, I don't know what the name is now. It's Honda Airblade or something like that. And that's in high. You hire cars. Cars are from $25 a day and upwards. Obviously, for a $25 car, you get a very small car. And you can go right up to Lexuses and sports cars and all sorts of things. But sports cars, not a great deal of good around here because the roads aren't fantastic. Mopeds, if you drive a moped, take your time, go slow, because there are holes in the road and all sorts of things. So yeah, that's something to be aware of. When you rent a motorcycle, you will have to hand either your passport in, or they ask for the price of the bike, which the bikes are about $1,500 to buy, so you'd have to give them a $1,500 deposit. Now, I prefer to give them a passport. One, if they lose it, I can get another one, but I'd just rather not hand out all that cash, even if I had it. Excuse me. Now, transport, that's where you can hire vehicles. Now, to get around without hiring, you either need to rent or hire a tuk-tuk. It's like Cambodia's version of a taxi. It's like a motorcycle with a chariot. And you can get a tuk-tuk from anything from $1 to, I think, I think it works out about $5 or $6 if you wanted to go to the very, very end of Sihanoukville. So what we're going to do now, we're going to show you a few tuk-tuks and a few mopeds. Now, it's only small clips around the market. We went to the market and we filmed a few bits of transport. So we filmed a few tuk-tuks to have a look at, so you can see what a tuk-tuk is. And I've squeezed in a moped in there. Now see if you can spot it. The moped has more than 2 people on there. So see if you can spot the moped, and we'll be back very shortly. Okay, so have a look. I'll tell you, it's more than 1 person, more than 2 people on the moped. So look carefully, check it out, and I'll be back in a minute. Tuk-tuk is, and what a moped. Motar is what here they call a moped, and they're another form of taxi, as you see there. They're $1 more or less anywhere you go. You just stick your hand out and a tuk-tuk will stop. I mean, a moped will stop. Now, laws. Now, if you get caught riding your moped after you've hired it, and for everything you do wrong, you get a $1 fine. Now, I'm always getting a $1 fine, always. Now, if you haven't got wing mirrors on the bike, you get a $1 fine. If you haven't got a crash helmet on, you get a $1 fine. If you haven't got a Cambodian driving license, you get a $1 fine. Excuse me. If you drive with your lights on during the day, you get a $1 fine. Now, you can drive with your lights on at night, you don't get fined. The only people who can drive during the day with their lights on are the police, government people, generals, military people, important people. And we're not important, so we have to turn our lights off. Now, when you're getting fined and dealing with the police, during the hours between 9 and about 5:30, everyone wears their crash helmets. But when it comes to 6 o'clock, that's when the police finish. And you just see everyone driving around without their crash helmets on. So it seems to be all that timing and things. Police do actually work some hours and they stop and you just don't see them anymore, which is a bit strange in my world, my thinking. Police work 24 hours, but Sihanoukville police only work from 9 till 5. It seems that way anyway. Excuse me, I've got a bit of a cough here. Now that was a little bit about fines and things. Now, dangerous riding. Now, people drive around Sihanoukville very slowly and they jump the traffic lights. Traffic lights don't seem to mean anything. When it's a red light, they go straight across. They just pull out in junctions, but there doesn't seem to be that many accidents. Everyone drives very slowly. Most people are doing 25 kilometres, 30 kilometres an hour at the most, and it seems to flow quite safely. Surprising really, when you first see it, it's like, oh my God. But then when you join it and you just drive the same speed and you just go into the flow, it works very well. It works extremely well. No road rage. You pull out in front of someone, they'll either smile at you or just carry on. Not like most places I've been where you pull out in front of someone and it's like rah, rah, rah. And no, here's not like that. So that was a little bit about the law. Driving licenses, you can get a Cambodian license. It's $55. I think it's going to change. I'm getting mine at the end of last month. Oh, so I should be getting mine any minute now, any day now. And that's $55 to get a license. But you have to get that every year. But, okay, $55, it's like road tax. Now, overloaded and dangerous traffic. Now, we've got a selection of overloaded mopeds and strange tractors and things we're going to show you next. But keep an eye open. There's a guy riding a moped and he's got 5 56 or 50 kilo bags on his moped. Now this is only a 100cc moped. 5 times 50 kilos, that's 250 kilos. In my calculations, if I'm correct, that's a quarter of a ton. So he's got a quarter of a ton of rice on this little moped, plus himself, who's probably lighter than one of the bags. But take a look, and we'll be back shortly. But keep your eye open for this guy who's got all these 50 kilo bags of rice on him. How they drive these bikes like this, I don't know. If he falls off, he's finished. But still, take a look, and we'll be back in a few minutes.
I've been driving in my car. It's not quite a Jaguar. I bought it in Primrose Hill from a bloke from Brazil. It was made in '59 in a factory by the time. It says Morris on the door, the GPO owned it before. I drive in it for my job, the governor calls me a slob, but I don't really care. Give me some gas and the open air. It's a bit old but it's mine, I mend it in my spare time. Just last week I changed the oil, the rocker valves and the coil. Just last week I changed the oil. Last week it went round the clock, I also had a little knock. I dented somebody's fender, he learned not to park on a bender. I've been driving in my car.
Right, some of them are quite funny, aren't they? I found them quite amusing. Some of them I find quite dangerous, and I'm just shocked how they can actually do this. But the surprising thing is, if you get caught without a crash helmet, you'll get $1 fine. If you've got a quarter of a ton of rice on your bike, it's not a problem. Doesn't make sense, does it? It really doesn't make sense. Yeah, it's crazy. But still, that's the way it is here in Sihanoukville. Now that's the end of today's blog, letting you know a little bit about transport, how to get from the airport to Sihanoukville, how to get around Sihanoukville, how to rent a motorcycle, how to rent a car. There are a couple of companies that we would recommend, and you'll see the videos of these companies next to this video on the site, and that is at www.cambodia-guide.com. You can see that at the bottom of the screen there. Now, next week's blog, or next blog, hopefully it will be next week. We had some problems with microphones and we had some problems with lighting, but hopefully we've got it all corrected now, and new microphones at $600, but it works. Now, next one, is going to be eating. Now, I'm going to find someone to come with me and help me with this one. And what we're going to do is we're going to have $5. We're going to pick 5 restaurants. One's going to be a local restaurant, Cambodian. One's going to be an Italian. One's going to be burger joint. One's going to be, what was the other one? Pizza. No, that's Italian. Well, there's going to be 4 different restaurants we're going to go to. And we're going to see what we can get for $5. Now, I already know who's going to win and where we'll get the most food from, but I'm not going to say that. And check out the next blog. That'll be next week. Thanks for joining us this week. I hope you enjoyed the transport blog. And we'll be seeing you on the next blog.